And I don't know if I have a major error. I just ate too much food. I just didn't track somewhat. I was tracking and I was eating a lot. I was gaining weight and I didn't say, "Okay, Karen, slow down."
If you've been watching, you know that I take my ingredients very seriously, but there are 3 companies that I have found that I absolutely love. Check the description for discount codes. Hello, my name is Adrienne. Welcome to my show, where I interview different people who've inspired me in the health and wellness space, whether to live a better life, to eat better food, to have better movement. And today I have the wonderful Karen S. Miles. You'll find her on Instagram or on YouTube. She is with the Carnivore twins. She's probably America's favorite gym teacher, and she puts friend in carnivore friendship. Hi, Karen. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Adrian. Thanks for having me. That's so sweet for friendship and carnivore friendship. That's nice. I'm a retired PE teacher. I retired a year ago, a little over a year ago, a little less than a year ago, and I'm enjoying retirement, but I substitute a little bit and I coach track a little bit. So I'm still in the system
Could
somewhat.
you tell us a little bit
Yep.
about your background and like how did you get into the way of eating that you do right now?
Okay. Well, I'm a carnivore and I'm in my fifth year of eating carnivore meat, dairy, seafood, eggs. Before that, I did 2 years and 3 months of low carb, and I had a lot of success for low carb. I credit that for a lot of my success, but I still had cravings and I was still eating stuff I shouldn't have been eating. And it was Thanksgiving time, 2 years and 3 months into my low carb, lost weight, got off of blood pressure meds, got off of cholesterol meds, got off my CPAP machine towards the end. So I was doing really well. And then I had a visitor. We had visitors from Japan, China stay with us for the Thanksgiving holiday. And I bought treats and I said, I won't eat that. I'll just give it to them. What's a loaf of that? What's a loaf of that bread called? Panettone bread. It's an Italian bread that comes in a box often, and it's an oval. It's a dome. It's really good with raisins and fruit, and anyway, in it, it's really good. So I said, I won't eat it all. The other people will eat it. Well, guess what? Yep, not just the other people. I ate it as well, and I ate it for like 3 days in a row because hardly anybody else was eating it, and come out go to waste. And after a few days, my joints, my one ankle joint was killing me. My knees were bothering me a little bit. My ankle joint was hurting me so bad. I was like limping around for days, actually a couple of weeks. And one teacher's like, Karen, you should go to the doctor. I'm like, I know what's wrong with me. I know. I ate junk. I had too many carbs and now I'm fighting it. I ate it for like 3 days in a row and it stayed with me for 2 weeks. I'm like, this is not good. So I said, I've been hearing Dr. Berry talk about this carnivore. And I looked into it a little bit and said, what are they nuts? What are they nuts? So I decided, let me try it. It's supposed to help with inflammation and such. So I dove right in and I started right away. And my husband and I were eating a ribeye the first night. And I remember eating the fat, which I wasn't used to eating that fat. I was eating the fat. I didn't even finish my first whole ribeye and I had to go to the bathroom. That fat went whoop right through me. Surprise. So yeah, I started. Like I said, I'm in my fifth year. A couple of weeks before Christmas, I started, which was tough. And I went all through Christmas doing really, really well. So I'm going strong. I've had why I like the carnivore is, like I said earlier, I don't have that urge to eat like those keto treats. I was making keto fat bombs and the almond flour and making treats and this that, and the other. I don't make treats per se. Brown butter bites, is that a treat? I haven't made them in forever. Oopsie cake. I've made carnivore cheesecake. Those are treats. How often do I do it? Not too often. Not too often. I'm not eating the other junk, and that's what has gone out of my life, and that's what makes my life better. I used to have joint pain before low carb and even during low carb. And even low carb, I would sometimes eat popcorn, which is not low carb.
Right.
But my friend owns what's called a popcorn stand, and they pop it right there, and it's the whole town. That area of the town smells delicious. People wait in line for like a long time to get this popcorn. It's really good, and I like supporting them. And she's a dear friend of mine, Joni. And I'd wait in line, wait and buy it, and I'd say, "I'm bringing it home for Jeff or the grandkids." Or, well, I'd eat a lot of it myself, and then my joints would bother me. Even when I was low carb and I would eat it, like again, that's not low carb. I would say, don't eat it Friday night because Karen, you're going to go play pickleball Saturday morning. Pickleball. I love playing pickleball. You don't want your joints hurt. Sure enough, I'd eat that darn popcorn and Saturday, my joints would bother me because I eat that popcorn. Those carbs, not good for me.
So you've had a
That's
lot more success than just weight loss, but could you tell us like where did you start and then I know we have a recent another lump of loss, but like how has the weight loss been for you? Because I know that's the first thing people care about.
right. And like I said, I had success doing low carb. I've had success since like I've lost like 65 pounds total. But now I'm like, I don't know, 20-ish or so since, or not quite 20 yet for the low carb. Now, I'm sorry, since carnivore. Now, what you're referring to, can I bring
Yes,
that up?
please do.
So,
First of
so
all,
what
so we all seem to be able to lose some weight, and then it seems like so many of us get stuck. Is that something that you've experienced? And then maybe you even go back up and then you just struggle and struggle and struggle. And Karen, have you found a way for yourself to get through that?
I have. So I've been in numerous people's groups and I've liked every one of their groups, numerous people's, and I loved every one of them. Well, there's one I'm still in today. Oh, there's a couple, but I'm in Kelly Hogan's group, My Zero Carb Life. Love that Kelly Hogan. Anyway, she talks about tracking. She's got her own little TDEE now, and we talk like every day. Kelly and I are pretty good friends. I've been to her house. I've hung out with her numerous times. I adore her. Anyway, she talks about tracking calories and this, that, and the other. And I said, okay, I'm tracking calories. I'm doing a certain caloric intake and I'm lowering it 10 or 20% to try to be in a deficit. But it's hard to do that, to get too low because I'm 5'1". It was like eating like 1,400 calories because I'm 5'1", my age and my activity. And I put my activity in as like light. But Kelly's been saying, you're so active, you're so active. So I bumped it up to moderate exercises because I lift 2-3 days a week, play pickleball 3 days a week or more. Sometimes I'm going to be kayaking 1 to 2 times a week, and I snowshoe and I bike. And so, so I went up to moderate and I can eat more calories. And I've since eating more calories, I noticed I'm losing weight. So I was under eating for a while, not this whole time, because I overate so much that I gained 19 pounds in the last 2 years. 19 pounds. That's unacceptable. So 2 years ago, I fit into these cute little pickleball skirts and I couldn't fit into them anymore. I said, I'll be darned, I want to fit into those skirts again. So, because I couldn't fit in them last year, I had to get bigger ones and I didn't like that. Or I wore shorts because so anyway, I am getting close to that. I tried one on Audrey Coleman, our buddy, Private Eye, said, Karen, just try it on. You've already lost weight. I've lost 10 pounds now. In the last, actually April, I lost 8 pounds just in April. Now this is middle of May. So I've lost like 10 pounds recently, the last couple of months. So I'm really excited. But I made a tracking sheet and I would put down the date, how many calories I ate that day, and what I weighed the next morning. So if I ate 1,400 calories, the next morning I would gain weight. What the heck? And I would do that numerous times. I gain weight. Then I'd overeat because whatever. And I would lose weight. Like, what? Are you kidding me? So I upped my calories and I started losing weight, upping my calories. So I've heard, how many people I've heard say they undereat? So many people, so many influencers say a lot of people undereat. Well, I didn't undereat for a long time because I gained 19 pounds. Believe me, I overeat. So if I overeat, I will gain weight. But yet there's times I've eaten like 2,000 calories and I've even lost weight. Not every day. I gained 0.2 pounds last night. I ate overnight. I ate 2,050 calories. Big deal. I don't care. There's going to be up and downs. There's going to be up and downs. It's not straight down. And I'm fine with that. But I did some stuff with some people and I ate a bunch of cheese. Next thing you know, I was up a pound. I'm like, what? So cheese is not super friendly with me. I have some friends coming over tomorrow, my college friends, for a couple of days. And I bought some cheese. I just have to say, Karen, limit the cheese. It's not unlimited. So I'm on my way back down to losing all those 19
That is
pounds.
such an
I'm
inspiration
there.
because it's so hard. And one thing I'm loving about carnivore, I'm seeing this with a lot of people. Other diets or ways of eating, once you start getting that gain, you kind of throw the towel in, like that was just uncomfortable. But with carnivore, it seems like a lot of people don't give up. Like it's a kind of a nice way of
No,
eating, and it feels so good that you're like, ooh, I want to go back to that feel good. Like a lot of ways of eating make you feel not great. You lose sleep, you're hungry, you're crabby, your hormones are crashing, you're low energy. But with the carnivore way of eating, it seems like you feel good when you do it. Would you agree?
I'm like, what are you going to go back to? Eating junk, carbohydrates? I don't feel good when I eat carbohydrates. Why do it?
Yeah. And
Why do
so
it?
you're
So
weighing every day? Like you
I
love
am
the
weighing it.
data.
I am
You're
weighing it every
using the
day.
data to help you.
I am. And I lost 2 pounds before I started this. I started this in February and I slowly. But April's when it really kicked in, when I figured out what I needed to do by tracking is why I figured out people hate tracking. And if you don't like to track, don't track. But for me, that's what I needed to get to this
I
level.
feel better when I track. And I see in Kelly's recent video with you and some of the other group members that other group members are kind of following in your footsteps and seeing a very similar result. They're feeling better. They're starting to see the downward trend again. And it
Yeah.
seems like it started with you. And a lot of people in the group are now using your tracking sheet. And so if anybody wants to know more about that, check out Kelly's recent video because it really goes into detail and has a ton of stories of inspiration, which I think started with
Mhm.
you, Karen.
Oh, well, thank you. Thanks. Like I said, Kelly and I talk all the time, and I give her ideas of YouTube sometimes. Yes, I do. So it's kind of fun. So she talks to me, I talk to her, and we have a fun
Do
time
you still
together,
help her with her
thinking of
videos and make sure that there's no spelling errors and that give her feedback? Or
I do. So there's like 4 of us that she sends the video to, and there's some others too, but we are the original 4, and, yeah, I get to see them before they go live, and that's kinda cool, and, like, I'll even check the description box and, like, "Hey, don't forget to add Adrienne's Instagram," or whatever. I tell you what, she's pretty darn good. We don't have to tell her too many
yeah.
things that she maybe did wrong. Yeah, she's really good.
When you were low
Yeah.
carb, did you have community or is this a big thing here now that you became carnivore?
There was a forum I was on. I don't even know what it was called. Oh, that was when I did Atkins 10 years ago or so. I've lost weight a couple times with low carb, 2 other times. And yep, and gained it all back. And you were on The Biggest
Yes.
Loser. So you
I
did all
feel
that.
ya. But this has been,
Yeah.
even let's say I slide and I start eating extra carnivore foods. It's for me so far, I've stayed within a 10-pound range, which is the best it's ever been in my whole life. In previous attempts with a way of eating, I would start trickling up and I'd be like, well, I feel like crud and I would just throw it away and I would swing 50, 80 pounds. So I'll take
Yeah,
a
that's a lot.
10-pound
That's a big
swing that keeps go,
yeah.
it's not like I'm up, 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 up. It's like I'm up and then I'm down and so
Yeah.
I'm loving this way of eating. And I love that you're tracking too, so you can see trends. One day you take a big poop and you gained weight. That's okay. The next day,
It levels out. The whoosh effect. Whoosh, whoosh it all out.
the scale
Yeah,
is
it's
funny,
crazy.
but I like the truth is that it's the overall trend and also not letting the scale have control over you, knowing that it's a
The
trend is helpful and healthy, I think, don't you?
right. Yeah, if I gain a half a pound, when I gained a pound, I got a little disappointed with myself. So I just said, just
Just
eat on track.
cheese.
So yeah, I had some cheese and stuff, too much cheese. I said, just eat all beef tomorrow. Just eat all beef or 3/4 of it beef. Don't eat any other junk.
Well, so you
So
play
yeah.
pickleball. Did you say you go skiing? What are all the things that you do?
Not skiing. Well, I play pickleball and, yeah, I have meetups, and maybe you'll talk about that, but I have meetups June 22nd in Chicagoland. Hit me up if you're interested, Naperville, Illinois, June 22nd. And come Friday and stay to
I'll be
Sunday
there with
because
my
we're
little
playing
boys.
pickleball. Woohoo! Yes. Some people are flying in from
Washington,
North Carolina, New Hampshire.
is your
Some
twin
what's that?
coming?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It's a long
Jackie
way.
Jam at Washington State. That's a long way. She's been out here a couple of times. One time she surprised me. But anyway, back to what I do. So anyway, a lot of times on a Sunday, we'll play pickleball. So whoever shows up, I've done it at Dr. Elisa's meetup too. And we've done it in Beloit, Wisconsin. We've done it in Chicago a couple of times. So yeah, we either go hiking at our meetups. Okay, what do? I play pickleball currently like 3 days a week. I lift 2 or 3 days a week. I was taking an exercise class 2 to 3 days a week, but I switched it up and added an extra day of lifting in there. So I'm not really doing that exercise class right now. Like a couple weeks ago I did, but I'm not right now. It's kayaking season. I'm kayaking tomorrow. I'm a yak sister. I started this club like 9 years ago. And if you check us out on Facebook, there's, I don't know, 1,800 people that are in this group from all over. And it's pretty cool. It's really neat. We go every Wednesday night on the canal, set time. Actually, I'm in Kelly Hogan's Zoom at 7 o'clock my time. And it starts, and a lot of times I'm still on the canal. So I'll get my phone and I'll put it in my kayak and I'll watch the video or listen. Sometimes I'm not listening because I'm talking to other people. Me talk, go figure. But anyway, so anyways, I do that. I like that. I like to bike. I snowshoe. So I snowshoe, not ski.
You
Snowshoe.
are
That's
so
another thing. And
active,
hike.
so that reducing that inflammation and that pain has let you get your life back to be able to do all this stuff.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
right. I did that stuff before, but I did it in pain. I'd have to take ibuprofen before I would go play pickleball or afterwards, or when I go to sleep at night, I'd have to take ibuprofen to help me sleep because my joints were there. I would toss and turn. My shoulders hurt, my back hurt, my hips hurt, my knees hurt. All night long, I toss and turn. Now I don't toss and turn at all. I may wake up once to use the restroom. Oh, if I sleep all night, it's like, oh my gosh, I slept all night. Usually once, sometimes twice, sometimes twice. I do get leg cramps now and then when I'm sleeping, nighttime. But I got those when I was pregnant and when I did low carb as well. So I've had these almost 7 years. This August will be 7 years, but I've done everything under the sun.
Yeah, because I'm sure Kelly gave you
Everything.
tons of tips when you're in her groups. It's like so much information that I'm sure she's helped you try everything.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And yeah. So we'll see. It's not too bad. I did have a mild one last night, but I'll tell you one thing. This is a trick. I learned this somewhere on some Facebook group, and I even, Dr. Berry has lives, and you could like ask a question and pay whatever. So instead of asking a question, I said a statement. I said, "Hey, if anybody gets a leg cramp, suck in your abdominal muscles, like suck them and tense them up. And sometimes it makes a cramp go away." You heard it here on Adrienne's channel. Do it, do it. So suck in your abdominal muscles, tighten them, and sometimes it makes a cramp go away. I've heard and he said it. Him and Nisha talked about it. It's, Karen Miles says, suck in your abdominal muscles. I never heard that, but I almost want to get a cramp tonight, Dr. Berry said.
I do too. I want to try it. You know what I do? I jump out of bed and stand up.
I do that too. I try to
I
stretch it
hate
out
that though, because I'd
first.
rather just
That does
sleep,
work.
you know?
Me too. If I stand up and usually that helps, but if it's really bad, I have to take mustard. I have to take a spoonful of mustard and it makes
Interesting.
it go away. Sometimes two.
You've
Mustard
literally
is
tried it all.
when they're oh yeah, that's extreme. So when I put the date, the first thing I put if I had a cramp or not. No cramp, 1 cramp, 2 cramps. And now that I'm weighing, I put my weight and then I do it in the morning and then sometimes I'll touch base, like what I've done in the day. I'll add that. Sometimes I say what I'm going to do, but I need to add what I've done today. So I'll come do it a little in the afternoon sometimes, but a lot of times at night I'll close it out and say what I
Do you
did.
ever track
Now sometimes I put
sorry,
my
do you ever track or care about your blood sugar, your blood glucose, and your ketones? Has it ever been a
I
thing for you?
do. I do. I jumped on that bandwagon for a while, the high fat, lower protein, like 90 grams of protein a day and higher fat. And that was the start of me gaining weight. Now, I am 64 years old. Some people can do that and do great, but that was a big start of me gaining weight. That was the trend because I ate more fat. I ate more fat. I ate more fat. My ketones were going up. My glucose has always been good, like 70s, 80s. It's been decent. But now I don't do that anymore, but I do still check every now and then. So recently, the last couple of weeks, I'm like 80. Glucose has been good. My ketones have been like
Wow,
1.0. Like,
that's
what?
awesome.
That's good. Now, point 0.5 is decent. Point 0.5, you're in ketosis. Under point 0.5, you're not in ketosis. So I've been like point 0.5, point 0.6, point 0.7. I'm like, point 0.7, I was excited. But just lately, since I've really been tweaking, it's been like 1
That's
ketones. I'm like,
great. I see
awesome.
point 0.5 all the time. 1 is like
Yep. I know, because when I was even doing it, if I got like 1.8, I'd be jumping for joy, but lower protein, higher fat. So I don't need to do the high fat. I need to eat the fat on my body. Yes, I am overweight. I'm 5'1". Today I weigh 137 pounds. I'm 5'1". I'm short. I got fat in my legs. I'd like to lose. I got fat in my butt. I'd like to I should be 110. I don't want to be 110. If I get back to my 130, I'll be happy. If I go 125, I'll probably be super happy. But I'm okay with it. If I get back to my 130, 7 more pounds, 6.5, yeah, something. So I lost a couple pounds before I really started tracking.
you
So,
got that
I just want to
momentum
get to that
going. That
130.
momentum is so great. I wish
I
I could
do.
have that again. I've been struggling with hormone issues and we're working on them, but,
Mm,
so I waver between
yeah.
155 and 165, and I have a lot of junk in my trunk. Like, I people keep telling me I don't need to lose weight, but if you see me in real life, you go, "Yeah, she's awesome."
I think you look
I
fab.
think you look
I
fabulous.
think you look
But
fab.
I'm 5'4". I would like to get to my optimal weight. And so that's back there. But more
Yeah.
than that is the healing. I also had tons of pain and I had stiffness. I would wake up stiff as a board every
Oh,
day.
yes.
And that's
Yes.
gone. It's pretty rare for anything to be
My my
gone.
first few My first few steps in the bathroom, I'd walk like an old lady. I know some of you are saying you are an old lady, Karen, but my feet would hurt, my body would hurt. Now I jump out of bed.
Yes.
One thing I do in the morning, and I love first thing, go to the bathroom, do what I gotta do, jump on the scale, get changed, and I walk 1,000 steps in my house. I walk 1,000 steps in my house before I make my coffee, before I journal, before I do. I will turn on a YouTube video and listen to that. I do another little thing, but I don't do a whole bunch of other things. I want to do my 1,000 steps. Now, sometimes it's nice, and I'll do it outside and get that. I don't know. While I'm doing it, sometimes I'll go outside and ground or look at the sun with glasses off, my feet in the ground, and I'll walk a little bit or do some yoga moves in the grass while I'm doing that morning
This is
sun.
so
So
funny.
I like that.
I've been
That's
sleeping with my
cool.
kids, my boys. So I've had kids in my bed for 12 years, and my big 2 are out, but the little 2 were in. And so every morning it was impossible to get out of the bed without waking them up. So my thing was waking up and doing a Wordle, which is totally against all of this. But the good news is, as of Mother's Day, they're in their own beds. And so now I can get up without waking them up. And I think maybe in a week or so, I could finally start implementing some of this stuff, and I'm excited about it. So, I'll just
Yes.
tell these
I had
groups, you
a
guys keep
really
reminding me that this is really important stuff. Don't get that blue light
right.
right away, get the sun outside, get the earth, get the fresh air, don't drink or eat anything, just go outside and enjoy it for a second, let the hormones and yeah, and people say it
Yep.
feels really
That
good.
sky. Even if it's raining, this morning I was out there, it was drizzling. I'm like, well, so much for that. But, look at the sky. I had a great non-scale victory today. I went to lift weights and there, I've seen people hanging
Yeah,
on
I
a
can't do
bar,
that. Can you?
how long they can hang. Well, Dr. Lisa's talked about it before, and I'm like, okay, I'm looking at those posts, and I'm like, I'm gonna try it because when I do it on the playground, I go with my grandkids to the playground a lot, and I'll hang for 1.5 seconds. That's it, like this is ridiculous. So when I go to school, I'll try it on the playground. Well, today I got a little step stool at the gym, a bench, put it there, and hung for 10
Wow.
seconds. Yes, I was so excited. I got down, I hung for 10 more seconds. Then I did a little story I uploaded to Instagram. I'm like, I'm going to do it again. So I did it for 5 more seconds. I did it 2 times, 10 seconds, and 1 time 5. Now, every time I go to the gym, I'm going to be doing that. I can't wait. Because they say grip strength is great for longevity, living a long life. I'll be able to open those jars now with ease.
I need to
So
add this.
I'm
That sounds like
happy.
fun, actually. I mean, even if you just start with 1 second,
Yep.
you gotta start somewhere. I bet I'm at 1 second.
I
10
did a lot of ones.
seconds?
Yeah, I'm
Go,
pretty excited about
Karen.
that. And I lift heavier and heavier, and
That's
yeah, I saw her Fit and Fabulous on one of her videos. She was lifting. I said, "What is that?" I sent her in the chat on her post. I said, "Is that 35 pounds?" She said, "No, it's 50." I'm like, "I'm so sorry. Hope I didn't insult you by saying, is that 35?" So that inspired me to go heavier. Like today, I did 20 pounds, to do 20 pounds in each hand. Oh, and there's another girl I watch, and I don't know, I call them lawnmowers, where you put the weight on the ground and you pull them up like you're starting a
Okay.
lawnmower. I call them
Ooh,
lawnmowers.
I bet that's great
I do
for the
that with a
triceps.
35
I
pound
bet that's
weight.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah, you're pulling them up. And I figure I did that with 35 pounder, and I'm real proud of myself for those 35s are heavy to pick up. So I'm happy
Like,
about that. So I try to
I
push
feel
myself.
like, maybe like you, I was doing those workout classes, and I don't think I was seeing a lot of gain, I guess. I didn't see a lot of definition. I
Yeah.
don't feel like I was necessarily getting stronger, but I recently started using an app called Workout, and I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, at least that's what I shoot for, and I'm really starting to actually get stronger and start seeing some muscle. What do you do?
Nice,
What are you
nice.
using?
I have muscle like a fat. I got muscle. Oh,
No,
look at that. You can't see it.
Karen, put the
What's
guns
what's
away.
on
I'm just kidding.
the down? You can't see
No,
it,
I
but
can
whatever.
see your
So what
muscle
do I
for
do? I
sure.
All right. I do a full body workout. So I go in and I'm out in 40 minutes to 60 minutes. I do a whole body workout, upper, lower, the whole deal. I'm not going to go and do an upper one day and lower the next day, arms one day, legs another. Nope. Do the whole body, get out, get
And it
out.
feels
So
good.
I like it. I start with the rowing machine just for like 3 minutes, just a quick thing. And I end with 25 kettlebell swings. And that's my appetizer and my
I
dessert.
probably should do more rowing, but it
Yeah.
kinda makes me wanna throw up. So that probably means I need to do it
Oh,
more
really?
because I really need to build that stamina. But mostly I walk and then
Yeah.
I just
Oh,
lift at my own pace. There's no sweating involved.
and then I can I can hear all the pickleball going on
Yes!
when you walk. I hear you walking. I'm like, "Are they playing pickleball? I know that sound."
They're
Yeah.
always playing
Yep.
pickleball.
I'm like, "You should
You know
try
your
it."
Yak Yak
Well,
sisters, have any of them looked at you, been inspired, and changed anything? Has anybody jumped on board?
I've had a couple ask a lot of questions. I've had a couple try it, but they didn't last.
So it wasn't for
So
them.
no, but I've had a few people say, "Oh my gosh, Karen, you look so good." Today, I saw we went to a luncheon, we all dressed up and we wore fascinators on our heads, cool little hats, and I had a dress on, and we went for lunch. We had a spring fling today.
Oh,
So
that sounds
it
so
was
fun.
fun to
How
get
about your
together with my
husband?
kids.
Does he eat like this?
He loves all the meat I make. He loves it. No, he just not a carnivore. But sometimes I just give him meat. Sometimes I'll make him a potato or just the vegetables. Or he doesn't want salad anymore. He should always do the salad, but he's like, no, I think it bothers my stomach. I'm like, go figure. Yeah. But he'll go out. He goes and helps my son do his business most days of the week, and they go out for lunch and he'll eat the hamburger with the bun and the cheese, fries and all that stuff. So, but when he's in here, like I said, I occasionally give him other stuff to fill him up.
So, fun
But
fact is that you used to be a truck driver, right? With your husband. So you can back
10-4,
up
good buddy.
one of those huge trucks into the small spaces, right?
I have a time or two. That's very, very, very hard to do. Sometimes we'd get to our destination, say we're going to Denver, Colorado. We'd get to the destination, and Jeff would be sleeping in the bunk, and I try to back it up. I'm like, it's a jackknife back there. Okay, Jeff, you got to pull it in. And he's like half asleep. He gets out, backs it in 2 seconds. I took 10 minutes and I failed. I'm all a mess. But I have my CDL still, commercial driver's license, and we drove all around the country, and well, not to Hawaii and not to
Right.
Alaska, but all the other states we've been
Wow.
to. So that's kind of
So
fun.
my husband works on the road pretty much full time, and then you've got these truckers. Do you have any tips for them on how they could potentially eat more meat or eat carnivore?
I have a nephew that is, I don't know if he's carnivore now, but he did carnivore for like, I don't know, a month or 6 weeks or 2 months. And I don't know. He's not doing it now, but he had an air fryer. I said, get an air fryer, buy those frozen burgers at McDonald's, I mean, not McDonald's, at Walmart or wherever you can get your truck in, and throw those in the air fryer and cook those up. I said, buy those liners even to help keep it clean. You just throw away the liners. And he came home and he would do some batch cooking and take it with him. And, so I say, these trucks have refrigerators and little freezers. Buy that stuff. And even if they're frozen patties, you put them in the fridge. What's there, 8 in a pack, 10 in a pack? I don't buy them. I don't know. You can even buy the big boxes. But it's okay if they're in room temperature. I mean, I'm sorry. If they're refrigerated for a few days, if you get them frozen, you cook them up. It doesn't take you that long to eat 8 to 10 or 12 burgers.
Yeah.
You could eat those. He's a man. He could easily eat 4. Now, when I first started Carnivore, I did a lot of 1 pound of meat each meal, or like lunch and dinner. I mean, maybe some eggs in the morning. And I was eating 2 pounds of meat a day. I do not eat 2 pounds of meat a day now. I occasionally might, but not too often. One thing I like now, I do dehydrated meat. I was gifted by 2 dear friends a dehydrator and a meat slicer for our retirement gifts. And they were amazing gifts to me. I use them once to twice a week. And I'll dehydrate chicken breast, pork loin, ribeye, picanha, chuck roast. Yeah, those are some of my favorites.
If anybody hasn't had the picanha yet, Karen has a whole highlight on her Instagram page on the different ways to make picanha. When I made my first one, I went through her reel and I loved it. It's my favorite meat. What's your favorite?
Probably ribeye, but picanha is really, really, really close. Kelly Meyer, my buddy Kelly Myers, Kelly Skunky, I think, is a cook at Illinois State University. She's actually in administration too, in the cooking part of it. And she made me picanha numerous times and grilled it and showed me all the tricks. So go check out my reels. Instagram, Karen.s.miles.3. That's what I am.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah.
So I got some questions from your friends. Have you ever gotten a piercing with a friend?
I never got a piercing, but my buddy Kelly Hogan, when I was at her house, she went and got her nose pierced right here. And I joked and put one of her little stud stickers on my nose. And we joked and said we both got our
Oh, Karen,
noses
do it.
pierced.
Have you
I
considered
have a big
making it
Italian nose.
permanent?
No, I look at my Italian nose. It's huge. I don't want to draw more attention
I got
to
a
it.
big nose too, but it looks great from the forward, so we're good. As does yours, Karen. I had no idea you had a big nose. Except that Karen and I have met in person. And one of the things that's so special about you, Karen, is that you bring the community together. You throw meetups, you attend the meetups, you're friends with a lot of people, you follow a lot of people, you message a lot of people. You put so much love out into the community. Like you said, you're throwing one in Chicagoland on June 22nd. And you also typically go to the Northeast meetup. What else do you do? Any other ones or just here and there?
I had one in I've had one in Beloit, Wisconsin, so my Wisconsin friends could easily come. I had one in Las Vegas that I co-hosted with my buddy Vicky. Your best is ahead. The Beloit one, I did it with Meat and Coffee Buzz. The Vegas one was amazing. Kelly Hogan came at like the last minute, decided to come. We had a surprise visit. The meetup queen herself, the carnivore doctor, we had numerous people come to that. That was amazing. I was doing my husband and I traveled in the fall, and I had one in Tennessee that my buddy Tammy did with me. And I can't think of the girl's name. Sorry. Yeah, numerous in Chicago.
You have a video
Do
on how to
one.
do a meetup, and I really feel like I might need to be
I
the
do.
Minnesota meetup girl, but I'm gonna come on that.
There you go. There you go. Check out the Carnivore Twins, how to do a meetup, a video. It's really good. Homestead Howe had one in Wisconsin. So I picked up my niece in Wisconsin and I went up, and my buddy Kathy David and Amy Meat and Coffee Buzz, and we met there. And I met Kerry Mann, Homestead Howe's great YouTube channel. And I told him about the channel, and he said he went and watched, and he's had some meetups since then. So he said he used a couple of my tips.
I think that's one of the best parts about this community about becoming a meat eater, a big meat eater, is the people. I think they're fabulous. And so thank you for all you're doing for the community. Okay. So we have some
locals around here that are carnivores, and that's cool. We've gotten together numerous times. It's pretty cool. The local mayor a couple towns away is now carnivore. He lost like 40 pounds in 2 months. I'm like, what? You men, they just lose so
That's
easily.
exactly why I started
But
sharing is because I feel like there are no carnivores in my region, and then, I was on the local
yeah,
news, and then people saw me on Kelly's video, and then, people started saying, "Hey, I'm carnivore and I'm here," and so I have a few in this area, and I'm
yeah.
really excited, but I really hope that it grows and, that more people this I really when I make my videos, I think of the local people who've never heard of Karen, who've never heard of your tracking sheet, who've never heard of the fact that you can heal your pain and your stiffness and all the things.
Boy.
You can lose weight, you can be full, you can eat delicious picanha and ribeye, and so that's what I think of. So thank you for telling those stories.
Do you know Amanda
Mhm.
Ratke? She's a farmer out in North or South Dakota. Sorry, Amanda. We're going to have something August 24th on a Saturday at, oh, we did this last year. I met Amanda. I love Amanda. She said, Karen, I'm going to be in your area. I'd love to meet you. And we started talking. I said, let's have a meetup. So we had some people join us for lunch. And then she had to go back to a farm. And a bunch of us went hiking at Starved Rock State Park, which is a beautiful park in Illinois. And then we went to a farm and met up with Amanda again. First, Amanda spoke at our meetup about carnivore. Then we went to this it was a live cattle auction. They had cattle there that they were auctioning off. They had cattle at other places like, in Iowa and Missouri, and they had pictures of them on this big screen, and people all over the country were auctioning them off. And she spoke there about the beef industry.
That is
She's so
cool.
passionate about the beef industry. It was so cool. We had so much fun walking around. My buddy Cherish Your Health was there. I've also done meetups with Meet Margie in the Chicagoland. Meet Margie. Christmas time, we get together. I just personally invite the local Chicagoland, Wisconsin, Indiana carnivores because I don't have a plan. I don't have an agenda. I don't put it out on social media because I don't want people to say, okay, what are we going to do next? We don't know. The wind just blows us. We don't know where we're going to eat. We don't know. Maybe like one thing. We know we're going to go to the Kris Kringle market. Like we always have one thing we're going to do. But the wind just blows us. So I don't advertise it because I don't want people to show up and say, well, what time should I meet you there? I don't know. Just meet at this one place. And then we start with coffee. Yeah, and then we go from there. But my buddies, Jackie Jam and Audrey the Private Eye showed up and surprised us. There's a YouTube video on that on the Carnivore Twins page. It was so special. Last year I retired. 4 of my carnivore friends showed up in my town. I was working a 5K race. They showed up and surprised me. They were in cahoots with my local girls, and
I
they
saw the
came and
video. That's amazing.
so
It's
special.
not I think that anybody who wants this can kinda have it because if you get Marco Polo, like, I Marco Polo, like, all the people that you're talking about every day. And it's not that I'm
Yeah,
someone special, it's that everybody is just so nice and so willing to talk to
yeah,
people, and it helps you stay on track too. It helps you remember I really like what
yes.
I'm doing. I like this lifestyle. I like movement. Oh, I forgot. I need to go grounding today. My friend Karen's always grounding. She feels great. She looks great. She's glowing. I just love it. So, is there
Yeah.
what is the biggest mistake you in this way of living, let's say the movement, the eating, all the things, what's the biggest mistake or challenge or error that you've ever had that helped you grow or learn?
I guess the biggest error, I overate, and I don't know if I have a major error. I just ate too much food. I just didn't
Mm.
track somewhat. I was tracking and I was eating a lot. I was gaining weight, and I didn't say, "Okay, Karen, slow down." And I heard so many people say it. Little Bit of Fit talked about it. I met Little Bit of Fit at the first meetup I ever had. I went to Lisa's, the Carnivore Doctors in Jersey, in July a few years ago. I was so inspired. I said, when I get home, I'm going to have a meetup. And I talked to my other buddy, Cindy's Clean Living, and we were going to get together and meet. I said, why don't we have a meetup? We'll meet halfway. I went to Peoria, Illinois, which is an hour and a half from me. And I said, let's have a meetup and meet Margie. I met her. I met Cherish Your Health. I met her. I met so many neat people. Trudy Miller. And all these people came, like 230 miles. Some people came and a long ways and drove all day. And it was so cool. And that fueled my fire. So I thank Lisa, the carnivore doctor, for fueling my fire. She might
She's
be
the
the
meetup
I,
queen.
I I've dubbed her meetup queen for years, but maybe I'm the meetup princess because I'm like right
Yes.
behind her.
Yes, you are.
I keep track of all of them. I have like 20 something or something like that that I've been to, like local things. I got together with a few of my girlfriends. We went to Bloomington, Illinois, in the middle of nowhere, but Illinois State. We just spent one night together. We got in town like late morning and hung out, and we hung out till like the next afternoon. We got an Airbnb and hung out.
And you
Just
know what's great about your
five of us.
meetups is that they don't really cost a ton of money. There's also the low carb cruises, there's there's the conventions, there's a lot of things that people look at and go, "Well, I could never afford that." But to just meet
Right.
up with your neighbors, just meet for coffee, once you join some of these communities, there's ways that you can see if there's people near you and you can just invite
Yeah.
anyone. And it is just nice
Yeah.
company. It kind of reminds me of like being in a golf
Yes.
club and all your friends and you check in with each other and
I got Kristen Green, not Kristen Green. I can't think of her name. She's one of the Yak Yak sisters. That's terrible. Anyway, I just think of another name with the first name Green. Anyway, Carla Green. Sorry, Carla. She lives very close to me. She's my closest, about 10 minutes away. And I have Rollerblade Gal, you know her. She doesn't live far and she kayaks with me and bikes.
Oh,
Carla
I wish I
kayaks with
was your
me.
neighbor.
Car-
I'd
I
kayak
know.
with you
I know.
and
The
rollerblade.
first time I was on Kelly Hogan's video, we talked about the habit tracker. We both read the book and we did a video on that. But I was on some carnivore news with her too. That was a lot of fun. But anyway, this one girl, I was reading the YouTube post. She's like, I know Karen. I've seen her at the Park District. And I'm like, wait, I know that name. Oh, she works at the Park District. So we hooked up and now I get my farm eggs from
Oh,
her. So
perfect.
she'll even drop them off for me at the Park District. I'm like, I'm here to get my drug.
I'm here for my dealer. Yeah.
I'm here ideally,
So
yes. So I see her a couple days a week. She's on and off, and her husband's on and off. But I think talking to me kind of helps her to fire up. So it's kind of
so
cool. Carnivore runner Mark lives about an hour away. We
you
got
are
a
kind
nice
of
little
right in the
crew
center.
around here.
So, I mean, I'm not too far. What am I, like 8 hours away or something? I'm a little bit on the edge of far, but not that far. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could,
No.
because I feel like you're a very successful person, you've kept this way of life for many years, you've made friends, you've maybe gained a few pounds, but also lost those pounds, which is huge to be able to do that. So many people, once you gain the weight, you just struggle to re-lose it. But you've got this, you've been inspiring people. If you could give people out there 3 things that would help them be successful long term, what would they be?
I didn't get any of these questions ahead of time, just letting you YouTubers know. So these are on the spot. 3 things. Eat the meat that makes you happy and you can afford. I don't do the grass-fed stuff. I mean, I occasionally might buy it, but we get a quarter cow. And then I look for sales at the grocery store. I use a flip ad sometimes. A couple of my stores are on flip, or I'll go to their ad and or the local store doesn't have flip, and I'll go to their ad and I'll look at their sales. Oh, they got pork loin on sale for $1.99 a pound. I'll buy the big pork loin. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And I'll cut it in maybe 3 chunks, throw it in the freezer, and then I'll slice that to dehydrator, or I'll make pork chops and I'll cook. I'll cut up 10 pork chops, put them on a cookie sheet, flash freeze them for over 8 hours, whatever, put them in a gallon baggie, and I'm eating something I know my husband might not like, so I'll whip out 2 of those, cook them in the air fryer. Number 2, buy an air fryer. So buy the meat you can afford, look for sales. Ribeyes, I don't pay 14, 15, $16 for a ribeye, $20. I don't. I look for them on sale, and yeah, buy them on sale. Freeze your stuff. And now lately I've been doing butcher paper, the white butcher paper, and sealing them up that way instead of like a gallon bag. I don't have one of those fancy suck all the air out things like a lot of people have. Yeah, vacuum. I don't have one of those. So buy the meat you can afford. Get a flipping air fryer. Guess what I made for dinner tonight? I didn't eat any yet. I'll have a little bit. I made beef heart. I like it. Yeah, I see your face. We like it a lot. Beef heart, beef
And you're
tongue,
not.
I like a lot, and oxtail.
Actually,
Oxtail
beef
makes the
tongue
most.
is really good. Heart is good. Oxtail's good. It's true.
I'll tell you what, I make the tongue 2 different ways. Check out my highlights under tongue. You'll see all my favorite ways how to do tongue. Oxtail, I don't have anything special about it. I do it in a crock pot. The broth, I heard you say your picanha broth was amazing. Oxtail broth is amazing as well. All those broths. I just put a little bit of water, a little bit, not maybe a half a cup of water, and cook it in a crock pot, and I'll make all this other water. So oxtail, I do a little more water. I'll do a chuck roast. I'll just do a
I
little
love
bit of
chuck
water. I know
roast.
some people don't use any water. I like chuck
Yeah.
roast. I bought them like a month ago, $2.99 a pound. I bought
Wow.
20 pounds 2
That's
times. And then you take out the chuck eye. The chuck eye. I gotta say it like Kelly Hogan. The chuck eye. That's her accent. Chuck eye. Never heard of chuck
I have to
eye.
look this up.
Chuck
So you
eye.
cut it out of the roast.
Yes. Yes. And I'm picky about finding the roast, and I take it out. And it's a steak. It's a steak. The chuck eye. And then there's a Denver steak, but yeah. Anyway, look up how to cut a chuck roast and take the chuck eye. Do you follow Meat
Yes,
Dad
he's
One?
amazing.
Amazing. You learn how to save some money
So is
doing
that
his
tip number
stuff.
3, follow
Yeah.
Meat Dad? Or what is it?
Well, okay, tip number 3, find a community.
Mm.
Find a community. Get some friends, like-minded people. People that, maybe they're your age. You're not my age, Adrienne, but
Nobody's
I'm
my
still
age. I'm
friends
the
with you.
youngest one in the group, so I don't even care. I love
You
you
are
all.
kidding. How
I
old
I
are you,
just turned
Adrienne?
40, so I feel really, really, really
Oh, that's
fortunate to
that's
have
right.
found this so young. Because the number one thing people constantly say is, "I wish I would have found this younger." And I feel the same way. I wish I'd have
Yep.
known about this when I was 10 or 0. Maybe I wouldn't have struggled
Right.
my entire life with weight had I known about this. And
Oh, yeah.
disordered eating.
Now, I was an athlete. I played sports in high school, and I'm going to tell a story. I told it once on a story on Instagram. My one my friends my one friend's mother started calling me Wally. I was probably 125 pounds in high school. I was not a Wally at all. She called me Wally. I'm like, what? And then all my friends called me Wally. Not all my friends, but my close friends are like, Wally, one even gave me a walrus as a stuffed animal gift. I'm like, I'm not a flipping Wally. But then I went to college. I went to college on a full scholarship to play field
Mm.
hockey from New Jersey to Western Illinois University, Macomb, Illinois. I played field hockey 4 years, but guess what? With that all-you-could-eat meal card, I did gain weight. I did get to be a little Wally, not bad, bad, but I definitely was overweight, not obese when I played, but I know I could have been better if I was lighter. I know I could have been better. Don't get me wrong, I was decent, but I'm like, dang. So anyway,
You're like telling my story.
they
I
call
was
me
in high
Wally.
school. I was in all the sports. I was really, really, really athletic. And then I went to college and I gained weight. And then I went on The Biggest Loser. And yeah.
Yeah.
And so it would, yeah, that college stuff, it's really not necessary. It's so crazy looking at all the pictures of so many of us. Our biggest was in our 20s for a lot of people. And then it's like you
Yes.
spend the rest of your life trying to figure out how to not be that. And it's so unfortunate because your 20s are supposed to be your best years. And I don't
Yeah.
know.
My
I think your
30s, I
60s might be
really,
your best years, right?
oh, it's going good. It's going good. I'm not in pain. That's my number one reason of doing carnivore. I'm not in pain. My fingers would hurt, my shoulders would hurt. I remember reaching numerous times, reaching the back of my back seat to grab something. I have like a blanket. I have a blanket in my car. People laugh at me, but I put it over my lap. So I'd reach in the back and I'd be, oh, like I tweak my muscle because I couldn't move my body so well.
Yeah.
And now I can reach back and I smile when I reach back,
Yes, I
pull
hate
it
when
up. I'm
people
like, I
say,
don't.
"Oh, I'm just getting old. Oh, my body's just falling apart because 'cause I'm getting old." Well, we have some people in our community, a lot of them, who are in their 70s and they're out playing pickleball, and they're lifting
That's
and
right.
they're walking 5 miles a day, and so you really can it's never too late to get your health back. But you started pretty young too,
Right.
because 'cause you've been at this for 5 years, plus you did some low carb years, so you've been at this for a while. And you're pretty healthy. I love it. Thank you for inspiring us all. Is there anything that I missed, Karen?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think so. Oh, when my husband and I did our little traveling and we went to see Kelly Hogan, on our way down, we went to see Erin, Carnivore Diva. She's on and off of Instagram, but I went to see her and we met for lunch, which I love this lady. And she always says I was the first one she heard of. And then Kelly Hogan, I'm like, hey, Kelly, she found me before she found you.
Yeah.
I'm like, the one person. It's just she found me first and heard about me first, and so I got a kick out of that. I love that lady. And I went to see Audra, Private Eye, stayed 2 nights at her house. Went to stay at Kelly Hogan's house for 4 nights. She said, Karen, stay for a week. I said, you don't want me for a week? I was thinking 1, maybe 2 nights. She said, oh, no. So we stayed 4 nights. And I brought her a little gift as a thank you. I brought her family a bag, and inside the bag had 4 pickleball paddles and balls. And I turned their family onto pickleball. We played 3 times and we were there. I
Oh,
adore her kids.
Stacy.
And then I had another one I was meeting where I met Linda, the carnitarian. I love the carnitarian Linda. We've been talking for years, and we were going to stop for coffee. And then 2 days beforehand, I'm like, forget coffee. Let's play pickleball. You want to play pickleball? She said, I never played. Let's play. So she showed up with a tennis skirt, a pickleball skirt that she's never worn. She had it for 10 years. She never wore, she wore that. I
Yeah, if anybody's
love
not
Linda.
following
So
her,
we're going to
she
play.
does the spices, right? The carnivore spices, and she just started a YouTube
Yes.
channel. So if you aren't following her yet, go follow her. I just did. And I
Yeah,
think
the
her page is
carnitarian.
gonna be huge. I think she did such a great job
Yeah,
interviewing
yeah.
Bronson recently.
She did. She did. I had her chili blend, both her hot and her mild, or spicy and mild. And I have the meatball packet. I need to make that meatball packet. But like last month, I wasn't eating any dairy, and now I'm kind of limiting my dairy, and it's got some grated cheese in it. So I'm like,
So real
so I haven't done it
ingredients,
yet, but
spices. That's awesome.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
Karen, I really
it's good.
appreciate that you would do this and you'd come on and you talk to our audience and share your experience, your strength, your hope. And if people want to follow you, they can come on Instagram. You also, I don't know if you guys are still doing the Carnivore Twins YouTube channel
Or
here and there.
we might
Well,
start
we hope you
again. But
make a comeback because it's
yeah,
really cute. So I
fun.
really appreciate you coming on my channel today. And again, if anybody wants to follow you, they can find you on Instagram or that you have a little bit on YouTube under the Carnivore Twins. So thank you again for coming.
You bet. Thanks for having me, Adrienne, and best wishes to you and all the things you're fighting. But mostly, I'm so glad your kids are out of your room. You can get a
Thank
good look
you.
at this. I love following you. You're so
Thank
much
you.
fun. Take care. Thanks. Bye.